Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing? Oh, it's already starting off not very good. Please. Okay, hold on a second. People ask me to include the bloopers, and sometimes I do, and sometimes, it's okay. This stupid tripod, come on now. Please stay. It's not gonna just... If it won't stay, I'm like twisting it around. If it won't stay, then I do have... I don't know if it's gonna stay. Hold on a second. Oh, is that... I'm trying to like twist it around so that it's like tight on this thing, but it's not seeming to work. I think this tripod has seen better days. Well, I can put it on top of... I can put it on top of this thing over here, but I really don't want to because I think it's a little bit lower. Oh, did I get it to stay? Okay. I'm afraid to adjust it because if I adjust it, if I adjust it, it's going to start falling. Okay, there we go. Happy Friday. How are you guys doing today? It feels colder outside than I thought it would. It was actually nicer earlier. So it got up to about 49 today. When I looked at the weather earlier, it was 49 degrees. So time and temperature check. It is currently 5:06 p.m. And the temperature is, because I looked and it said it was 49, and tomorrow it was supposed to be a high of 50 today. And tomorrow the high is supposed to be 40, which kind of, now it's 48 and cloudy. And it's been kind of raining off and on all day today, so it's been like a very dreary day. I have not filmed any other videos today. This is the first video that I'm filming. Before I get into this, because I did the time and temperature check, I want to light the candles out here. So I keep on thinking I'm like at the very end of this candle, and then I light it, and I still have like a little bit extra. And then this is the Portage candle from the Shy Wolf Candle Company, which I'm really excited to get my February box for this. So if you didn't watch my video the other day where I was talking about this, I kept on wondering like if I was like when my last month was. And then I got an email that said like the renewal of your subscription like will happen on February 1st, and if you don't cancel it then it'll just auto renew. And so I was like, we'll just let it auto renew then, because I love the Shy Wolf candle things. I bought some things last night, which I'll get to in just a second. What was I gonna say? Before I tell you guys about my day and everything like that, thank you so much. I got I read through a lot of the comments. I haven't read through all of them, but I got a lot of DMs and even a couple emails from people sharing with me about their anxiety and their experiences with anxiety and things that help them. Or two people even like helped me like how they like have communicated it to professionals, like to their doctors and stuff like that. I just want to say I really, really appreciate it. That means a lot to me. It's going off my hood over here. I really, really appreciate it. That means a lot to me. So thank you so much. Okay, let's get to my day, and then we'll kind of like backtrack over like last night and stuff. I also just made a cup of coffee. Yesterday I brought out the sobriety mug because I love that mug so much. But I bought a couple of these. Do you guys remember? These were like $9.99 on Amazon, and I love them. The last one that I had was just a plain white one, and I got it at Walmart probably 20 years ago, and it's lasted me all this time. So I can't remember what the brand is of these, but I can probably look. I'm afraid to spill my coffee. There was this like UPS truck in the neighborhood, and I'm like, he's going away, so I guess I don't have anything. Okay, the brand is, I cannot see because of the light. Copco, C-O-P-C-O. And they come in all different colors, and they are, I think I got two different colors. I got one with like the blue thing, and then I got the red one for Christmas, but I still like the red one. Okay, so you guys know I told you that Alex was home from work yesterday and today. So yesterday, this is where people like, they're like, oh, you say you don't share things. I ask everybody in my life, like, do you care if I share stuff? Do you not care if I share stuff? I ask Alex, he's like, I put it on my Instagram, so no, I don't care that you share it. But Alex had a colonoscopy planned for today. Everything's fine. It was just like, his doctor was just like, let's do a lot of preventative kind of testing and stuff like that. So, a couple years ago, well, it was when I turned, like, 50, and then, you know, like after the accident, then I turned 50, Alex and I had like some very like serious conversations about preventative medicine, going to the doctor regularly. I mean, he's always kept up with his teeth, but that became something that was very important to me. And so that is something that is vital to both of us. Who is shouting down the street? What is going on? I think it's my neighbor with her dog. She's like, do you want to go on a walk to her dog? Oh, there it is. Hi! She's like...
Are you recording?
I am recording. Are you recording?
Am I recording?
Uh-huh.
No. I'm not even talking to anybody. I'm talking to the dog.
I know, I can hear you. How's she? She's gotten so big.
Yeah, she's all done. She's all done growing.
Oh, she is done growing?
Yeah, she's a year and some months.
Aww. It's a nice day for a walk. It feels cooler than I thought it would.
I feel like it drops. Stop. Okay, heel.
This dog is acting crazy.
I feel like it's dropped since earlier because we went on a walk earlier.
She likes to chew on that leash, doesn't she?
Without it being painful.
What?
It's nice to be outside without it being painful.
I know, it's been really, really cold.
Yeah. It's been bad.
Well, you
I'm
look...
listening to a book on tape.
What are you listening to?
You know...
Iron and Flame.
Huh?
Are you listening to Iron and Flame?
Yeah.
Are you?
Yeah. Well, I already read it, but yeah, because the new one just came out.
Okay, so I've been asking this on my videos.
Okay.
Now, you know I don't like fantasy.
Yeah.
And we were supposed to do the Alien Barbarian.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll get to that. But, so you know I don't like fantasy. But you've read, because people keep on saying to me, I'm like, they're two completely different authors. But you've read the Sarah J. Maas books.
Yes.
And now you've read the the Annie books.
Yaros.
Yaros? Okay.
Yeah.
Which one do you like better?
Oh, this one. Rebecca. Fourth Wing.
I heard that they have a lot of romance in it. Is that why you like it?
There is romance and there's like sex scenes and stuff.
Oh my lord, sex scenes? I can't handle that.
Mooka! The court one.
Court of Thorn and Roses.
Yeah, Sarah J. Maas.
Which I've never read, but I know and you don't.
Yeah,
This is my neighbor that I go to the pool with. She only... Oh my god, I was showing Alex our video the other day of when we were like acting like we were in the Olympics.
Yeah.
So which I never showed on here, I don't think. But anyway, she only reads books that are like that thick.
Yeah. I've got a
She puts blankets out in the backyard. She lights candles. She has like a whole day like in the backyard being all like bohemian reading books and stuff like that.
I like the Fourth Wing one way better.
Really?
It's better writing, better action.
Okay, so the Audible that you're listening to, are you listening to the narrated version or the dramatic acting version? There's two versions.
I don't know. I guess just probably narrated. I didn't even know that was a thing.
Okay. Do you like the narrated version of it?
She's alright. I could do better.
Okay, so it's just one person. It's not several people.
Yeah.
Okay.
Stop it. No. Alright, we're going to get walking.
She's chewing on all the leftover...
She loves to... And rocks and stuff, too.
She's gotten big.
Yeah.
Alright, well, enjoy your walk.
Yeah, I miss you.
I know I miss you, too. We got to do our book stuff, and
Yeah.
we were gonna walk. We had all these plans.
We should do books this summer, and we can go to the pool and read.
I'm ready for the pool to come open.
Yeah, me too.
To come open? I'm ready for the pool to open.
Bye.
Bye. Have a nice walk. I should walk tonight, but I don't know. So anyway, what was I saying? Oh, anyway, so Alex and I, like, okay, we're really big on, like, the preventative medicine stuff. And so, like, Alex went to his doctor just recently, had, like, his, annual checkup, and was like, I just want to run all the tests that I possibly can. I'm past 40 now, blah, 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 whatever. So doctor was like, okay, you need to do this, you need to do that, blah, blah, blah. There's, like, some neurological testing he's doing as well. And so he was like, you need to get a colonoscopy. So Alex was like, okay, so he scheduled his colonoscopy. And it's interesting because I feel like every person that I know in my life, like has gone through this, and it's either like total hell or it's like, oh no, it wasn't a problem at all. But he had to start prepping yesterday at like, I think it was like at noon, he had to start prepping for it. And I know when I say this on here, people are gonna be like, okay, well, like Caroline not too long ago did it, and it was like her first one ever, and she was like, she said, I don't know why, she'd have drank like the jugs of the fluid. Alex didn't have to do that. He did like the Gatorade version, but that's what his doctor told him. Caroline said she thinks the reason why she did that was when she called the office, she said, they asked her if she was constipated, and she's like on a regular basis, and she said, yeah. So that's why she did it. She said it was the worst experience of her entire life, prepping for the colonoscopy. Like, Caroline is like, it is the worst thing. She's like, I was like crying at 3 o'clock in the morning, whatever. Alex, that was not his experience at all. So he just planned to work from home yesterday because he was like, I can just like work from home and like, you know, prep and all this kind of stuff. So he didn't really, like, he had some meetings he had to do, but he was like putting together these different like packages and stuff like that. So anyway, he was completely fine. I mean, he was like, I mean, what kind of goes along with the prepping? He was like, yeah, that kind of, I mean, I don't really know how to say it. I mean, he was in the bathroom quite a bit, but he was like not in pain. It wasn't bad at all. But he wanted to go to bed, you know, pretty early last night. So I laid down with him and I took a nap, and then he just slept through the night. But it was, I mean, I was like checking on him. I was like, are you okay? Do you need anything? Do you need me to do anything? He was like, no, I'm fine. He was like, this isn't, he goes, I don't understand. Like, this isn't bad at all. I just had 2 other friends that just had him done, and they were like the exact same thing. They were like, yeah, it wasn't like an issue, blah, 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 whatever. It was like really, really easy. So Alex had said to me, I think it was like a week and a half ago, because you can't drive yourself home from it because, you know, they put you to sleep and stuff like that. So he'd ask his mom to drive him to and from it. And he was like, I said, do you want me to come too? He's like, I mean, it's just like an outpatient half an hour procedure. He's like, you don't need to. He's like, if you want to, you can. He's like, but you don't need to. So originally, because Alex kind of like was just like, no, not whatever, you know. I was not going to go. Like, I mean, in all honesty, other than driving them and picking them up, all of my friends, like, it's not like their spouses, it's not like this, you know, big situation. But the results, I mean, you want to hear what the results are and stuff like that. So I originally wasn't going to go, because he was like, no, I'm just going to have my mom take me, and then, you know, I'll be back and whatever, and then I'm probably going to go to sleep right after that. So I originally wasn't going to go, but then this weekend, I was like, no, because I want to hang out with my mother. That'll give me like some time to hang out with my mother-in-law. We can like go get a coffee or eat lunch or something. We can talk. But Alex wanted to eat lunch afterwards because he hasn't eaten. And like, he actually, so what was yesterday? Thursday? So like Wednesday, he like had chicken noodle soup for dinner. And that was like, it was chicken broth. He had chicken broth for soup. So he hadn't really eaten in like 36 hours, more than that probably, which I think is part of the reason why like the prepping wasn't that hard for him. So anyway, I was like, he wanted to eat lunch. So I was like, okay, well, like we can go get a cup of coffee and stuff like that. So we went to Dunkin' Donuts. She was so excited. I got her like a donut, and then she liked this like metallic cup that they had there. And I said, well, I'll get one too, and we'll have like the matching cups. And she's like, I'm gonna drink my waters in it. And I was like, okay. So we got the matching cups, and we sat in the parking lot and talked. He was done like in 45 minutes. I was like, I couldn't believe how quick it was. But anyway, she and I had such a good time, and it was just really fun, like the 3 of us. Like, I mean, I'm sure it wasn't fun for him. He actually said it wasn't bad at all. So when we got back there, because when we like checked him in and stuff like that, it was like, we all show up, and it was kind of like at this outpatient center at the hospital, and the woman at the receptionist was like really funny. And so when we came back, the nurse came out, and she was like, only one of you can go back there with them. And like when Alex like went back with the nurse originally, like his mom was like, mi amor, you know, and all this kind of stuff. So she was like really worried. I was like, I was like 100,000 people probably have colonoscopies a day. It's going to be completely fine and whatever. So we got back. The nurse was like, only one of you can come back, and he told me to tell you guys. She started laughing. He was like, you guys have to work it out between you. And I was like, go back. I was like, I can sit here. So I listened to my audiobook for a little bit, and so she went back, and then like 5 minutes later she came back out, and she was like, come here, I'll show you. So like then we exchanged places, and then I went back there. He was ready to go. He was like, I'm just waiting for this fluid to be done, and then I can get dressed. He was completely fine. He said he literally was like, they were asking him something. So he had never been put under before, which I was when I was in the hospital with, after the accident, but I don't remember it, and it's still like this big fearful thing. I mean, you would think as a son of a doctor I would never be afraid of that, but like I have this like real weird fear about it. And I don't remember it back, you know, I don't remember anything from that week. So anyway, but anyway, he said he was just like laying there, and, they were asking him some questions, and he said the next thing, he's like, I was really tired. I mean, first of all, he said something like, it was like when I go to sleep at night. I'm like, yeah, you're out that quick. He puts his head on the pillow, he's literally out. Like when we came inside, I was like putting my bag inside and stuff like that, because I said goodbye to his mom. I was talking to her in the car and stuff. And he came inside because he was like, he was so tired, because we went to eat lunch afterwards, and he was so tired that I came inside and I heard him like turn the fan on, and then I heard him get in bed. I mean, he was probably asleep before I even like had the coffee maker turned on, you know? Falls asleep so quick anyway. But he was like, no, he was like, I like was talking, they're asking me a question. He was like, and then I was like, oh my God, I'm so tired. The next thing I know, I woke up and they're like, okay, they had me back in this recovery room. And so I was like, well, does it hurt or anything like that? And he was like, no. He's like, I don't even feel like anything happened. And so then the nurse came in when I was there and she kind of like went over, like everything was fine, everything was good. And so, I mean, that was great. And so he was like, okay. He's like, well, he was finishing getting this fluid done. And then she was like, if you want to pull your car around to like where the patient discharge is. And so I went out and got his mom, and then like she pulled the car around, and then like, because I was sitting in the back seat. And so I opened the front door for him, the passenger side door, and he got in and whatever. And he got in and I was like, are you so tired? He goes, I'm so hungry. I want to go to Cheesecake Factory. I was like, okay. I wasn't really that hungry, but I was like, this is my husband's day, so we'll go to Cheesecake Factory. So we went to Cheesecake Factory. It was fun. We had a good time. Alex got the nachos and a large side of fries, and like ate almost all the nachos, but like hardly any of the fries. He brought all the fries home to put in I always say it wrong. I always say deep fryer, in the air fryer. I got, because I haven't had one in forever, I got an Impossible Burger and with a side of fries, but like I didn't even finish half the fries, and Alex just like put them in his little plate to take home. And then the Impossible Burger, I ate like a third of it. I just was like really full. I don't know, and it's weird too because it didn't taste as good as I remember like Impossible Burgers tasting back in the day. I used to love them from everywhere, All these people are like, it's like this convoy of cars down the street today. So anyway, we were there for a while. He started getting really, really tired at the end and like falling asleep at the table tired. His mom and I were talking about all kinds of like, talking about family stuff and whatever. And I looked over and he was kind of like closing his eyes. I was like, let's get out of here. So we got out of here and she brought us home. And I mean, like he said goodbye to her. He came inside and that was it. So he's like, I go, are you going to sleep through the night? He's like, I probably am going to sleep through the night. He's like, I'm really tired. So I don't know. He might be sleeping through the night. My plan tonight is I would love to finish Jack and Jill. I've got like 120 pages left of Jack and Jill. The third James Patterson, Alex Cross book for January. I would love to finish that. That would be my 8th book for the month that I finish. I would love to finish that, and then I would love to finish the, what's it called? Ugly Beautiful by Alice Feeney. I don't think I'll finish that. But I was like looking last night because I was like, I gotta get all these books done by tonight for 10 books for January. Except that it's really like 2 books a week, right? Does that make sense what I'm saying? Like to get to where I want to get for the year, it's really 2 books a week. So when you look, I know that this is not brain science, but it is to me, okay? So like when you look at the week, I don't start a week on a Sunday, okay? Like with my TV shows and stuff like that. With my TV shows I do it. Like I look, like Sunday is the end of the week, Monday is the beginning of the week, okay? If that makes sense. So when you go through January, I know this is so stupid, okay? You can't see anything, but there's January, here's the first week, second week, third week, fourth week, and the 5th week, Saturday and Sunday, to me, are still part of the 5th week. I know, people are like, Peter and his coming up with his own rules. So that gives me till Sunday to have to read 2 more books to finish the 10 books this month, which I can totally do that because I started this graphic novel that somebody sent me. It's real cute. It reminds me of those books, those Shady Hollow books, but it's about these animals that live in this town. There's like this murder that happens. See, it's very Shady Hollow, but it's a graphic novel. It's real cute. I can't remember what it's called. I showed it in an unboxing, a PO unboxing. And then, it's been really interesting that I've been getting lately is like, I've been getting like comments from people, like like somebody will say something to me like, did you not know this? And I'm like, I literally like in that video talked about that. And it's on all of my channels that it's happening. Like somebody said to me the other day, I thought you promised doing a PO unboxing. And I was like, I did that PO unboxing. Like they said something about like, I thought you were going to do this huge PO unboxing. I was like, I did that huge PO unboxing. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, it's there, Somebody like, I put up something about go ask Alice today. And I got 2 messages from people saying, you've been promising forever you were going to do the Go Ask Alice video. I'm like, I did the Go Ask Alice video. People in the vlog will be like, you said you were going to do this. And I'm like, I already did do that. Like, tell me you don't watch my videos, but don't say you don't watch my videos kind of thing. It's kind of funny. And at first I just kind of like let it slide. Now I'm commenting back. Like somebody said to me yesterday, something about, they said something to me about, did you know, like, on my drama video that Joey Graceffa was on Trisha Paytas' podcast? I literally talked about it in, like, the first 10 minutes of my video. And I was like, yeah, I just talked about it in this video, ... Because it kind of cracks me up, right? Or what's funny is this, is, like, when people will send me, like, tea, like, gossip receipts, you know, about stuff. But, like, let's say if, like, on a Monday, I'll make a video. Let's just say if, like, Judy Smith, I don't know, like, said she was closing her makeup brand down, right? I'll make that video, let's say, on Monday. Okay? By Friday or Saturday, I've probably gotten 10 messages from people letting me know that Judy Smith closed her brand down. And I'm like, I don't ever really respond, honestly. I'm just always like, yeah, I put that video up on Monday. You didn't know that? The video is called Judy Smith closed her makeup brand. That's what the brand is called. Like, but you obviously didn't catch that. You took time not to look and see if I posted the video, but you took time to send me the message. I appreciate that, okay? But let's just keep up with the drama. So anyway, but I live for that. Anyway, it kind of cracks me up. What was I saying? So, making my own rules. Back to making my own rules. So I got till Sunday. Oh, I was talking about the Shady Hollow book and the Animal book, stuff like that. The graphic novel, I've got that. I've got Maximum Ride, and I've got Beautiful Ugly. If I can finish 2 of those by Sunday, then I'll get to my 10 books by Sunday. So, because when I finish Jack and Jill today, which I will finish it before midnight. That will be I think that's my 8th book. Last night, I finished, who just texted me? Hold on a second. Valerie was asking me, she was like, why did Alex need a colonoscopy at such a young age? I mean, that's what his doctor told him. If he wanted to be preventative about it, he could do it now, and then he could do it in another 7 to 10 years. By then he would be 50. So, I don't know. It was just preventative. It wasn't like he wasn't at risk for anything or anything like that. So yeah, so anyway, but I'll text her that afterwards. But I'm just saying it on here because I know somebody will say that. Why did he get it at such a young age? It was just preventative. He just wants to be preventative about everything. So there's that. Okay, so what was I talking about? The rules. I know we already talked about the rules. So last night I finished Go Ask Alice. Okay, let's go back to last night. So today it was good. I had a good time with his mom. His mom and I had so much fun. Alex, the procedure was like real simple. It was real quick. It was like 45 minutes. I have so many friends of mine that, like, get so worried about this. Like, I mean, he said to me, he goes, afterwards, he was like, I don't understand why people are so freaked out about it. He's like, I feel completely fine. He goes, I'm just really tired. He goes, but that's probably from the anesthetic. He was like, he's like, I don't understand why people, like, freak out about it. He goes, it was a really easy procedure. He was like, the prep was easy. I do know that there's more difficult preps that you do. Because, like, Caroline went through that, you know, and that was really, really, like, hers was bad. She said, I won't get into the details of what she said about what it was like, but at like 3 o'clock in the morning, she said she was crying so bad sitting on the toilet. She's like, it was horrible. She was like, it was absolutely horrible. So anyway, so last night, what did Alex and I watch last night? Oh, so last night, he was watching Love Island upstairs, and I was watching Love Island All-Stars, and I was watching UK Trader Season 1. I have 1.5 episodes left, and then I'm done with it. And I don't know what I'm going to watch next. I kind of want to watch the Australian Traders, but I also am, like, really into watching, like, a British thriller. So I think I'm going to go back and watch one of the last 2 Harlan Coben shows that I have. I also have Silo. I have so many shows I want to watch. Like, this weekend I'm going to spend binge watching. I'm kind of honestly, other than vlogging, thinking about taking tomorrow and Sunday off. We have a dinner tomorrow night. Alex's mom just asked us to come over for, like, she's doing cachapas on Sunday with his grandma and aunt. And she was like, it was just going to be the three of us, but if you guys want to come, Alex is like, I'm not making a commitment to that because Sunday we do brunch. And he loves his brunch. And so he was like, maybe we'll stop by for a little bit afterwards. So I don't know what tomorrow and Sunday are going to look like. If I get up tomorrow and I feel like filming some videos, I will. If I don't, I feel like just like, playing it easy tomorrow. I mean, we're going to go out to dinner and it's going to be like a 2-hour dinner. So, I mean, it's not going to be like super long, then we'll come back. But I want everything done by the time we leave for dinner. So I may just film my vlog tomorrow and Sunday, and then on Monday, like, let's start off February, like, fresh, all this kind of stuff. I've been, like, making a list of, like, different videos that I want to make and all that kind of stuff, so we got that. But anyway, so last night I was watching the UK Trader Season 1, and then Alex came downstairs, and, because he had to do, like, one of these Gatorade, what's the thing that he took that they gave me when I had pancreatitis, that then my GI specialist was like, it's not like a laxative, a lot of people take it just to keep you regular. What's it called? It's the powder that you put, like, in apple juice or whatever. He was putting it in Gatorade. Why can't I think of what it's called? Miralax, the Miralax. Anyway, yeah, my GI guy, when I went to go see him afterwards, told me, he was like, no, a lot of people just take it just, like, to keep them regular. He was like, it's not gonna, like, you're not gonna drink it. Although Alex had to do, like, 2 containers of it over a period of time, which is a lot. I mean, like, if you do it just to keep you regular, you do, like, one little container. I feel like I'm such an old person talking about this. It's like, you just do, like 1 cap full of it. I always do it in water. I don't think it tastes bad at all, but some people do it. Like, I think when I was in the hospital, they gave it to me in, like, apple juice or something, like, 3 times a day. But I think you're only supposed to do it, like, once a day, just to keep you regular. But anyway, so I think he came down because he had, like, a Gatorade he had to drink, and it was, like, his last one for the night or something like that. And then he was like, and Traders comes out at 9. So I was like, okay, well, do you want to watch Traders UK? He's like, no, just keep on watching what you're watching, because we're watching season 2 of Traders UK. So I finished that episode. The episode got done at, like, I think it was like 9 or like 10 or 12 after 9. And so then we watched the UK Traders. Okay, let me just tell you this first of all. I love the US Traders with all the celebrities. I love the US Traders. Okay, I love it. I will say, out of the 3 seasons that I've watched previously, this is my least favorite season. I just don't really. Carolyn and Danielle are going at it. Boston Rob is just an ass. Wes from The Challenge, I don't love. I don't know Sierra from Summer House. The 2 housewives that are on there right now are from, like, Potomac, and I can't remember. The one of them's kicked off. I don't know her very well. I don't really know a lot of these people. Danielle and, what I almost said Anita, I don't know why. Danielle and Brittany from Big Brother, I don't even, like, they were on season 3 or something. Like, I hardly even remember it. Tom Sandoval is so stupid. He doesn't even know what's going on half the time. He comes up with these theories that don't make any sense. Although I will say Tom Sandoval has cute outfits on the season. I mean, his outfits are cute. They all dress cute. All the celebrities dress cute. Dylan Efron, Zac Efron's brother, I love him on the show. Caroline from Survivor, I love her, but she's losing her mind on the show. Who else is on there? The British royal guy, don't care about him. There's so many people on there I don't care. But I will tell you this, and if you watch the other Traders, I haven't watched the Australian or the New Zealand one, so I'm only comparing it to the UK Traders, but if you've watched the UK Traders, I'm telling you right now, as soon as this sentence comes out of my mouth, you guys will be, like, nodding like this, okay? When you watch the UK Traders with just normal people versus celebrities, it totally, like, it takes the fun out of the US Traders. Like, US Traders pales in comparison to the UK Traders. UK Traders is so much better with no celebrities. There should be no celebrities on this show, okay? It should just be normal people. Because, like, one of the things that you see on the UK Traders is, like, so, if you don't know the show Traders is, it's like 22 people in this castle in the Scottish countryside. It's beautiful. And then 3 of them, it's kind of like a murder mystery party, but it lasts like a month. 3 of them, 3 or 4 or 2, whatever, it depends on each season, get picked as traitors. The traitors get to murder somebody off every night anonymously. But then the faithfuls go around this round table and throughout the house and whatever, and they're trying to figure out who the traitors are. That's the whole idea of it, right? And the UK traitors, like, On the celebrity traders, they usually like have it narrowed down to like 2 people. So it's only ever 2 people that they're coming for at the round table. It's boring, okay? I almost kind of feel like now, having watched UK traders, I'm like, is the US traders like, is it all acting? Like, is it all acting? Like, is it all scripted? Because it feels that way. Because the UK traders, like, is emotional. Like, the people that are the traders, like, they really have a hard time being a trader. They're like, the round tables are so hard because we're like selling people out that we become friends with. Like, they really struggle with being traders. The faithfuls are like trusting people, and then they're like, we become so close with these people, but I don't know if we can trust them or not. And I love them, and then they find out somebody's a traitor, and they're like devastated. I mean, it is such an emotional show in a way that you don't ever see it on the US traders with the camera stopped. Okay. The other thing is, Alex, when he watched season 1 of UK traders, he was like, I like it so much more because they really need the money. He was like, where the celebrities don't need the money. It's crazy because you make so much more on the US traders than you do on the UK traders, but the UK traders really like, I mean, they even talk about like how much like they would do with it and what it means to them. And then I was flashing back last night as I was watching it, and I was thinking to myself about like Kate from Below Deck. If you watch a season with her, she was literally just throwing money to the side when they were doing a challenge because she was so over being on the show. Like, they would never do that on the UK traders. I don't know, there's just like a real pride in being in the game on UK traders, and I love the UK traders. I love it. I love it so much more than US traders. US traders to me is like boring now. So anyway, we watched that. And then, after that, I think, that would have been over, like, that's when we went upstairs and he went to bed. And I took a nap, and then I got up from my nap, and I came downstairs. I, like, checked with him to see if he needed anything. He was like, no. I came downstairs, lit all my candles, because I had trimmed my wicks early. I feel like I'm getting my nights confused, but I'm like, is that how last... I, like, had trimmed my wicks and stuff like that. I talked to Tanya earlier, and so, like, Nikki had texted me while I was asleep, so I called her and talked to Nikki for a little bit. Then I was like, okay, I gotta read my 20 pages of Go Ask Alice, which was, I think I had like 45 pages left of it or something like that, and I went inside and I lit my candles, I made a cup of coffee, and I like sat down with my reading lights on, and I just was like, I got into like 5 pages and I was like, you're just gonna finish this tonight. So I finished Go Ask Alice. I'm gonna do a whole review of it over on my Peter Likes Books channel. Okay, first of all, it is written so cheesy. The writing is so horrible. It is like one of the most horribly written books I've ever read in my entire life. But it hit, like I posted this on my Instagram, it hits so different reading it at my age than it does at 15. I don't know. It's like, I will say this, like if you've never read Go Ask Alice, or if you read it a long time ago and you haven't read it, I mean, it feels very dated, first of all. It takes place like in the early 70s, which, I mean, it took place like when I was born. When you read it, the language, all of it is very dated. But it is an intriguing read. Like, I understand now why. I mean, this is so bad when I say this. Because the book, if you didn't know, is propaganda. It's like Mormon propaganda, anti-drug. That's how the book came up. It's like all a lie. It's supposedly a found journal, and that, well, I don't, like, I mean, the book has been out for 60 years now, so I'm sorry if I ruin it for you, but supposedly, her name's not even Alice in the book. Alice is this girl she talks to in the park for like 1 second. But anyway, and then she says something like, go ask, I mean, she didn't even say go ask Alice. It's about this girl that's lost her mind but anyway, she dies like 3 weeks after like the final entry, and then Beatrice Sparks, who wrote the book, is like, was it an intentional overdose? Was it an accidental? It doesn't really matter. The point, and I'm like, well, yeah, it does kind of matter, because like I've been invested in this book now for 185 pages or whatever it is. It's a short book. It took me forever to read, but I loved it. Now I want to read I have all of the other, well, not all of them, but I got like Jay's journals. It Happened to Nancy. That's the pregnancy one. Jay's journal's about the occult. Now Jay's journal, I read that one actually is based on somebody's journal, but then she took it and she fabricated the rest of it. Go Ask Alice is completely fictional. Did you guys know that? It's completely made up. The whole thing is a lie. So anyway, that kind of drives me crazy, but when you read it, I don't know what I must have thought when I was like, I think I read it at like 14 or 15. I don't even remember, but I can remember reading it and being like, oh my God, she did that. It made me want to do drugs. If you want to know the truth, that's what I was going to say earlier. I mean, it's so bad. But what's so funny about it is, I mean, she's calling people a bunch of squares and stuff and all this kind of stuff. It's so, and she always refers to, like, her friends at school, like, she's like, do you think the kids will care? And I'm like, you can so tell an adult is writing this. Because an adult would not refer to, like, she's, like, going to this party, and she's, like, she doesn't say, like, the other kids. She's, like, you can tell she's, like, an adult talking about it. It's just so weird, some of it. But this one part, it's, like, this girl has literally, okay, she is like, this is where I need to do the review of her, because she has gotten so high out of her mind, worked for drug dealers, okay, dated a drug dealer, screwed a drug dealer. She and her friend moved to Berkeley and set up a shop in an apartment. Then you find out at the end of the book that she's just turning 16. She done all this at 14 years old, okay, which I'm like, and then she meets this girl that, I mean, it's really sad, all of it, okay? But, I mean, it's like, she meets, and then you know it's a lie. She meets this girl that is like, I can't say the word, but if you read the book, she puts it, actually, it's like, she, like, puts the, it's BP, and I was like, what's a BP? Well, she's 13 years old, and she, you know, sells her body. I didn't know that was a term that people use, but anyway, she has it in asterisks at the bottom of it. And this 13-year-old was, like, living in Los Angeles at this chick's apartment, and there were, like, 5 other of them there, and they were going to school, and this driver in a limousine, where did she come up with this shit, first of all, okay? This woman's driver in a limousine was taking these girls to school during the day. It reminded me of that movie Angel back in the day. Remember that? High school student by day, hooker at night. I loved those movies when I was in high school. They're on Tubi, by the way, all of them. But anyway, she's back with a vengeance, I think is number 2. Angel with a Vengeance is number 2. Oh, I should watch those this weekend. Oh my God, I love those movies. They were so bad. Those were like the 3 o'clock in the morning on, like, USA Today, or USA TV. Remember that? But anyway, she goes through all this stuff, right? Like, it's not like she hasn't lived a life. I mean, this girl and her friend were, like, literally living in an apartment that they were paying for themselves. One girl was working for a jeweler, and the other one was working at a high-priced shoe thing. It's just, and then they met this lesbian that turned out to be weird and was, like, getting them all, like, high. And then, I mean, the whole thing is so sad, but it's so, like, I don't know, like, so much happened to this girl in, like, 6 months. And then, flash forward, she's been in a mental institution, which she calls, you know, she's like this, I'm in this mental asylum, and she's in this mental institution, and then she gets out, and this is what she says, okay? She now is praying to God, and she's like, God, I don't know how, I didn't trust in you for so long, but I'm so happy now that I'm in my bedroom with my beautiful possessions, and my lovely bed, and my lovely walls. It's so weird! It's so weird! It's so weird! And she's in there, and she's talking, and she's like, this one part, she's like, so, okay, she tells, and I'm literally just, like, page turning it last night. Remember when I said in my vlog the other day that I knew there was a part in the book that where was it? Where she's in a closet, and she, like, can't get out of this closet, and she's babysitting. Do you remember I said it the other day? Well, sure enough, I started the book right up. That was the next scene. That's what gets her in the mental institution. Because Jan and Marcy, they dose her, okay, on all this acid. I can laugh because it's not a true story, okay? But Jan and Marcy, who she done sold up the river, okay? Because she, like, turned them in. Because one second she's a narc, and the next second she's a user. A pusher is what they call it in the book. Which totally reminds me of Mean Girls when I'm watching it, right? She's like, Jan's like, Jan called me a pusher today at school. I just wish the straights and the squares would accept me again. I don't know why Frank doesn't ask me out on a date. Is it because I'm not a virgin? It's, like, so weird, this diary. And I'm like this, like, page turning it. Like, what's going to happen next? Where is she in the closet? So anyway, oh my God, by the way, they hate anybody gay in this book. Okay, the book is so anti-gay. She's like, this one girl, she says this girl in the middle. She says this girl in the mental institution, this 13-year-old girl, she says to her, well, you don't even know at the time, you think she's like 18, right? But she's not, she's like 14 or 15. She says to this girl, her name is, oh God, I wish I had the book here. Her name's like Babsy or something. She's got some weird name. Anyway, she says, do you think because there's like, they're in a unit, okay, with 30 women, that most of them are alcoholics or fire starters. It makes no sense. And it's 6 adolescents with 30 women on this unit, okay? 4 girls and 2 guys. It's just like none of it makes any sense. So she says to this girl, she says, they're like having a serious conversation. And she's like, well, what got you in here? This is the girl that was telling her about being, you know, like selling her body and things like that. And how she got into this. And then she ended up meeting this guy, and he was a lot older. And then he set up a joint where he was like doing making LSD. I mean, this book is so far out, okay? Like, I'm starting to talk like them in the book. So anyway, she says to this girl, like, because she wants to be a social worker, okay, so she can turn all her wounds into wisdom, which I think is great. I think it's great, okay? Maybe not day one of trying, like, she don't even think she has a problem, right? And so she talks to the psychiatrist. She goes, I think I've convinced the psychiatrist too, because the psychiatrist really, you can tell this is Beatrice Sparks coming through with her Christian propaganda, right? She's like, because the psychiatrist thinks that I should start going around to the other patients and asking them to tell me my story. What? You're in the same institution as they are. Why should they tell? She's like, I just don't know. I feel like, he's like, no, I think you can help them. So she starts going around and asking these kids about their story of what got them in there. Like, she ain't got the most tragic. And she says at one point, she goes, if he even knew my story, I thought exactly. And the whole time you're thinking her name's Alice, and it's not even Alice. Alice is just this chick she meets in the park when she's in Berkeley, and she's like lost her mind for 3 months. And she finally stumbles into this church, and the priest calls her parents, and then she goes back home. But anyway, so she says to this girl, okay, she says to her, the girl's telling her whole life story and stuff like that. And she goes, do you think we could go into your room and we could talk a little bit deeper about this? And the girl looks at her, this Babsy, and she goes, we can't fuck in our rooms, but we can go, I know somewhere where we can go where nobody will see us. And she's like, oh my God, no, not me. I'm not a lesbian. It's like the worst thing anybody has ever said to her in the entire world, you know? Like, she's done all this shit, but my God, better nobody call her a lesbian in this book, you know what I mean? And it happens like 5 times throughout the book. Somebody thinks she's a lesbian. She's like, oh my God, not me. I would never do that. Oh my God, that's the worst. Anyway, there's even one part where she thinks she might be a lesbian, and then they all, like, her parents and everybody freaks out. So that can't be. She can't. I don't know what book that's called, okay? It wasn't It Happened to Nancy, because she got pregnant. That didn't happen to Nancy, okay? I don't know. Is there a gay one of these? Because I would love to read that one. I'd love to see how Miss Beatrice Sparks handled that one. But anyway, she does end up in, so the way that she ends up in the mental institution, if I'm ruining it for you, like I said, it came out 6 years ago. The way that she ends up in the mental institution is because, I mean, it's not funny. I will say, okay, but Jan and Marcy, who she done narked on and turned in, okay? That's the saying in probably 14, snitches get stitches kind of thing. They keep on saying to her, she's like walking through the park, and they're like, we're going to get you. We're going to get you. Remember Halloween when it's like, he's going to get you. It's like so that. Like, she walks through the schools. First of all, they paint this picture that she's such this prude, right? When she's done all this horrendous shit. But then she decides she wants to be like a good girl and go back to school. She's like, why won't anybody let me be a good girl? I'm thinking, probably because you turned them into the police. I'm just saying, you know, like, they're going to get their vengeance in some way or not. She's like, I just don't understand why they won't let me alone. I study for 12 hours a day. I'm a good girl. I love my room. I love my possessions. What teenager ever says, in my lovely room with my beautiful possessions? Who says that? So anyway, I don't know when I read this the first time when I was in middle or junior high school or whatever, or high school, how I did not know that this book was made up. I mean, I ate it up. Hook, line, and sinker. I mean, I thought this was the real deal, okay? So anyway, so she's babysitting for the Landons, not Michael Landon, but she's babysitting for the Landons. She hopes that he doesn't eat at work because she wants to, because the wife is at the hospital, so she's got to, you know, cook for the husband and the baby, and she hopes that he doesn't eat at the hospital when he's visiting his wife because she really wants to get in some practice for cooking. Even though her sister Alex, she makes the best peanut brittle in the entire world, but she won't tell Mom and I the recipe. What's her secret sauce? And it's so weird. It's so weird. So then, all of a sudden, the diary jumps. Okay, she's babysitting. She's going to the babysitting job, and the next thing you know, she's in the hospital, and she had clawed off her hands and pulled out clumps of her hair, and her face is distorted, and all this kind of stuff. And I'm like, oh, this is the closet scene. Right after I said it in the vlog the other day was when I found it. So anyway, Jan and Marcy, they put LSD on her chocolate peanuts. What? Mr. Landon's chocolate peanuts. And she ate the chocolate peanuts because it reminded her of Gramps, her grandfather that had recently passed away. And then Gran passed away of a broken heart. And so then she ate the peanuts because it reminded her of Gramps, who she could only ever see for like skeleton and bones anyway, because she had this fixation of him being in the ground, which kind of made me sad. But anyway, so then she's in the hospital, and she legit has had the worst bummer ever. And a bummer, if you don't know, is the 1970 version of a bad trip, okay? She says the word bummer like 1,000 times in this book. And worms are crawling over her, and grubs, and all kinds of dirtiness. She's lost her mind, okay? She has lost her mind. And then she gets out of there, and then Jan and Marcy go tell the judge that she's been a pusher at school. Jan and Marcy are not done with her yet. Jan and Marcy are not done with this bitch yet, okay? They're like, we are going to get her, okay? So Jan and Marcy, they go to court. Her dad believes her. I don't know why. This is the other thing, okay? Like, when you've been that kid, your parents don't believe you about shit like that. They just don't, okay? Like, not where they're ready to go to court. They might believe, you know, like, I don't know, a small little thing. But they ain't believing you about, like, some stuff like that. When the whole town is calling you a pusher and a user, no, okay? So, she has to go to this mental institution. And there was, like, some girl sleeping underneath a pinball machine, another guy that's hitting his head against the wall, and all this kind of stuff. So she's losing her mind in there. This one part, this is what started this whole conversation. She's talking to this guy out on the grass. And this is so true, though, I will tell you this about people, like, in early sobriety. Because a lot of them are there for drugs, and she's talking about that. And, which I think this is also, like, I think this is important, that this is how we treated people for substance abuse and chemical dependency in the late 60s or early 70s, was to put them in psychiatric facilities, to detox them instead of putting them, we didn't have treatment programs, we didn't have that kind of stuff, you know? And so, I don't think the treatment program that I started working at, which is one of the oldest ones in Indianapolis, I don't think, because it had an old facility and then a new facility, I don't think the old facility came around till like 80, 81, the old facility, and then I think they built the new one. Well, I got sober in 94. Oh, she's back! She's doing so good at, look at her.
She was stinky today.
She was stinky?
Yeah.
You were stinky? Mooka.
Sunday will be a month no booze for me.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah.
Now, you know I'm recording, right?
Yeah.
Oh, you don't care? Okay.
I mean,
Congratulations!
it feels pretty good.
Good for you.
It's still early on. But, yeah. Doing it.
She's being stinky now.
Yeah.
Well, I'm very proud of you.
Thank you. Alright, I'll see you sometime.
All right. She's so sweet. Okay, so she's talking this one part about how she is like talking, so the psychiatrist tells her to go talk to these people, right? So she's talking to this guy out in the yard, and the guy's like talking to her about how, this is how dated the book is, okay? That he and some friends were just messing around, and there was this girl sitting next to him listening to the whole conversation, okay? And that he and some friends bought some glue because they heard that you could huff glue, okay? So they got high on glue. I don't think anybody did that before I started using. I think that's like a 50s, 60s kind of thing, this huff and glue. I mean, people huff. I mean, I've known people that have passed from huffing computer duster. But I don't know about glue today. Like, that's a thing that I feel like we watched film strips about in 3rd grade, that like that had kind of, nobody was really doing that no more. But anyway, his glue sniffing addiction takes him all the way to smack heroin in the book. And then he ends up in this insane asylum. Oh, that's what I was going to say. Is that we didn't have treatment for people back then, you know? And, I mean, there still is a stigma with addiction and things like that. And so anyway, so she's asking him, but she's like, the whole time he's telling the story, she's like, he's got this bug-eyed, like, faded look in his eyes. Like, he can't wait to, he's like, and she goes, and that girl next to him. She's like, she just has this look on her face like she's high just sitting there listening to it. I'm like, well, that's early sobriety. It really is, you know? I mean, I can remember sitting there in meetings. This is where a lot of people will come in, and they'll come into a couple meetings. Like, that's how I get sober, not, you know. But they'll come into a couple meetings, and they'll be like the meetings I go to are like step meetings, book meetings. I don't hear, unless I go to a lead, like a speaker lead, I don't really hear a lot of people talk about their drug or alcohol history. They might reference it or tell an old funny story, but it's not like you sit there. I mean, I go to quite a few meetings. I don't hear people ever be like, I mean, every once in a while, you'll hear somebody be like, it's called a burning desire, typically, is when somebody brings it up, and they'll say, like, I've been really, like, wanting to drink a lot lately, or wanting to use a lot lately, and I've been thinking about it. But you would never hear, like, in a 12-step meeting, like, somebody be like, yeah, man, like, this one time that I was, like, smoking weed, and I was so drunk, and I was, like, dosed, and, yeah, we just couldn't get, I mean, you would not hear that in a meeting. You would not. Like, that would be timed out. Like, people would be like, I'm not listening to this. Or somebody would pull them aside afterwards and be like, we don't do that in meetings. So when I hear people say, like, it makes them want to use more, I don't understand that sentiment. I'll just tell you, from my experience of 30 years of going to meetings, I mean, once I decided that I wanted to stay sober, you know, it was different. But I can remember going to meetings early on, and I was going to, like, mostly speaker meetings early on. And, you know, before you can stand outside smoking a cigarette, not everybody's sober. You know, I don't know if that's what people are talking about, but I can remember people being like, yeah, I can get you some pills and whatever. And I'd be like, I gotta get out. I gotta go put the cigarette out and go inside, because I would want it. That would make me start wanting to use. You know, like, but I don't remember, like, necessarily, I don't know. I feel very blessed because the people that I had in early sobriety that I was around kept me very focused in the consequences of my use, or like the bad things about my use. Like they would say, we're not going to romanticize our addiction. We're not going to do that, you know? You know, it's interesting because lately I was watching this on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. I don't know how Kyle Richards identifies her sobriety, but she's drinking non-alcoholic beer. I've actually seen recently some people that I'm close with. I haven't had a chance to talk to them yet about it, but people that have been sober for quite some time, I see them, like, on vacation drinking, and I'm not just talking about, like, a virgin this or a virgin that. I'm talking about they're, like, literally drinking, like, virgin mojitos and virgin, like, martinis and espresso martini. I'm like, I feel like this is kind of like the new wave of sobriety, you know? I don't know. Tony and I were talking about it the other night. You know, I've always been under the belief that I was taught in early sobriety that we don't romanticize our use. Like, I don't wear any t-shirts that say, like, I mean, I had this Moosehead Bear t-shirt that I loved back in the day. That was my dad's. But, I mean, I don't even think I don't know, maybe had one Moosehead Beer. I don't even know if I ever did have a Moosehead Beer. But, you know, I had a lot of, like, beer t-shirts and stuff like that were cute. I wouldn't wear that today. I don't, you know, I've said enough about it, and whenever I say it, people are like, well, you did this and this, and they want to pick it apart, okay? I do my best. I'm not a perfect example of it, but I do my best to be representative of a lifestyle of sobriety, if that makes sense. But I don't know, like, I feel like, I mean, this is apples to oranges when I use this example, but I can remember when people in sobriety at first started using Suboxone. And there were a lot of people in 12-step programs that were using Suboxone, and a lot of people had huge issues with it. I mean, I can remember people that I knew, especially a lot of old-timers, that were like, they wouldn't consider somebody that was on Suboxone sober because they were still using a maintenance drug. I don't know. I saw it kind of differently early on, but I also felt like over time, I think to keep the purity of the principles and the traditions of 12-step programs is important. I think it's important, but I also think that it has to bend and change with the times. I think the times are going to change. You know, I don't know, like, I think, like, I have so stuck to this idea of this and that. I mean, Tanya and I were talking the other day about, like, you know, she said something to me about, like, we were talking about, like, you know, when I'm at a beach today, like in Mexico, like, I just don't ever feel like, I don't know, like, I always just go to Diet Coke, because I love to have Diet Coke or whatever, right? Have there been times in my past that I've had, like, a virgin pina colada or, you know, strawberry daiquiri or whatever? Sure, like, one, right? Like, and it's because of the taste on a beach or whatever. I'm not, like, trying to, like, romanticize it. But I was saying to her, like, I was referencing a friend of ours that I saw that she was on vacation, and I mean, she's been sober for like 12 years, and she was doing like, I mean, she was with sober people. They were all doing it, and they were doing like mocktails, but they were like espresso martini mocktails. Anyway, I was kind of surprised, and I said to Tony, what do you think? And she goes, I said, I don't know why I feel like it's different to go and have like this versus a non-alcoholic beer. And she goes, I don't know why either, but I do. And then I was talking to my sponsor about it, and my sponsor was like, I don't feel like there's any difference with it. I said, you don't think there's a difference between having like if you go to like a resort, because she does, and she's like, if you go to a resort and you have like a virgin strawberry daiquiri, she goes, I'm gonna have a strawberry daiquiri, a virgin strawberry daiquiri. It has no alcohol in it. She goes, I like the taste of it. It's fruity. I like to sit on the beach with a big piece of fruit coming out of it. No, I'm not gonna feel bad about that. I never have. And I said, we were talking about the romancing of it and whatever. She goes, I understand the sentiment. She goes, but I think we're at a different point. She goes, would I recommend that to somebody that was 6 months sober? No, I think that romancing of it would make them want to use again. Do I think that at 30 years, if you're actively working a program and you're in steps and you want to try something, she was like, that's, has no alcohol in it. She goes, I think that that's fine. I don't know. Like, I feel there are certain principles that I was taught in early recovery that the only way I really know how to explain it is I'm almost I feel like this conversation right here is going to get so many comments. I don't know why. I feel like when I talk about certain things on vlogs, I can kind of feel it's going to get a lot of comments. I think because this is something I have so stood by for so long, right? Like, don't use hemp products. Don't do this. Don't do that. Peter, don't you know that you can't smoke hemp? Yes, I totally know that, but it's about promoting a lifestyle. I would say right now with all of this conversation of like using like hemp products, and I have in the past, like with lotions, people found that out. And I was like, oh yeah, you're right, that is true, but I do my best. Or I don't know that I feel comfortable wearing t-shirts that say like Bud Light on it. But as far as like the other stuff, like I don't know, like maybe my opinion's changing about it. I feel like I'm kind of having like a crisis of faith a little bit, if you want to know the truth with it, because it's like some of these things that I've stood by for 30 years and believed in so strongly, I would say like most people that I know that are between like, I would say 2 years sober and 20 years sober now, participate in the mocktails. I think, like I've said this in a lot of videos, ain't no mocktail gonna keep you sober, No mocktail in the world is going to replace a vodka tonic or a beer. I mean, it's, for alcoholics, it's why we say one is too many and 1,000 is never enough, because it's not the drink that you necessarily want, it's the feeling that you want, right? I don't know, maybe there's a fear that comes along with it for me, that like if I don't know, I was not somebody that would have drank espresso martinis or mojitos back in the day anyway. I drank Jack and Coke, I drank, beer and whatever. Not to say that you can't change what you drink over time, but I don't know, it's just weird to me. I haven't really, like, we'll be at restaurants, every once in a while, and they're just like, they'll have like a list of like 5 or 6 like specialty mocktails and whatever. I've been with friends of mine that have had them. I don't. I don't know, but maybe my opinion's changing about that. This is gonna sound strange, but this is something I've been thinking a lot about with my sobriety, because I feel like it's everywhere now. You go to the grocery store, they have all these mocktails that are non-alcoholic. I feel like it's a huge thing. And I also will say this, like, I don't know, like, okay, there's like non-alcoholic wine. I mean, I'm not talking about sparkling apple juice. I'm talking about wine in a wine bottle. I don't know why that feels so funky to me. It just does, but like, am I going to be any less sober by drinking wine in a wine glass? I mean, it's just something I've never done. Like, I don't even, like, in the past, I have, like, I don't know, I'm not comfortable, like, if I went to somebody's house and they're like, brought out a wine glass, with like a Diet Coke, I would be like, can I just have a regular glass? Like, I don't know, like, I'm not going to say if I have like a water goblet that looks like a wine glass at a restaurant that I would be like, no, I refuse, or that I've never like toasted, water or something out of a, like, I don't really do toast a lot unless it's like New Year's, but like, what I'm saying? Like, out of a, I mean, I'm kind of like a Puritan when it comes about that. It's like, there's so many things I was taught in early sobriety. This is like one of the things that we don't talk a lot about in sobriety, right? You know what? This would actually probably be a good topic to bring up in a meeting. But like, the mocktail thing is just so weird to me, because it's like, if I drink a mocktail, it's not going to make me any less sober. I'm fully aware that that mocktail is not going to get me drunk, no matter how many I drink. So I guess it's all, like, go back to looking at, well, in anything that I would do in life, my sponsor would say to me, what's your motive? If your motive in drinking that is to romance it, or are you on the road back to wanting to have a real drink, then that's dangerous. But if your motive is you're on vacation, you want to have a fun drink or whatever, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about all this kind of stuff. But it's definitely a conversation that I would say a lot of people that are older in sobriety are having right now. I would be interested if you're older in sobriety, how you feel about it. I mean, what I mean by older in sobriety is if you work a 12-step program and you've been sober for, let's say, 20 or 30 plus years. I think it's a conversation that you would have had to have been sober, I would say probably like 20 years in 12-step program, because it was really something that was instilled in us early on. I've actually taken a lot of shit about it online, because I'll say it like this and they'll be like, well, that one time you said, I mean, it's not like it's a perfect thing, it's a perfect rule, because that's not going to challenge my sobriety, right? In the past, but I don't know going forward how to do it. I don't know how I feel about it. You know, is there an interest for me to maybe like, oh, I think it'd be kind of fun to have a mocktail? Sure, absolutely, you know. Do I think that mocktail is going to end up leading down to further things? I don't feel that way for me. I feel, you know, I think, I've said this for a long time, like, if I, and when I say all this, and people want to speculate and be like, oh my god, he's going to start drinking again tomorrow, he's going to start drinking mocktails, he's going to do mocktail sponsorships. No, I'm not. I have been hit up so many times in, like, the last 5 or 10 years. I've been hit up for vapes that, like, will relax you, CBD oil. I've been hit up for, like, mocktails, all that kind of stuff for sponsorships. I don't even respond to them, ever. Any of them do I ever respond to. So I'm not going to start doing those now. Do you know what I mean? But do I ever think every once in a while, like, yeah, it'd be kind of fun? Sure I do. I think it'd be, camera stopped. Sure, I think that'd be kind of fun to see what that's like. I'm at a point in my life where I think that I want to, I don't know, I feel like I still need to have some conversations with people, you know? And I don't know why in my head I see it different to have like a virgin, I mean, and really, to be honest with you, like a Shirley Temple, talked about that not too long ago, a Shirley Temple in a cocktail glass is really not a whole lot different than like a virgin pina colada with no alcohol in it, which is really just a frozen drink, okay? But if that's, I don't know why I see it differently. I'm just being 100% honest about, like, this is a conversation Tanya and I would have in my sponsor. I don't know why I see it different than a non-alcoholic beer. I don't know why, except for that I've always been taught not to romanticize that stuff. But 30 years ago, you know, like, this is the discussion. And first of all, Suboxone is to keep people alive, okay? Mocktails are not to keep people alive. I mean, maybe for some people it's, I don't know, that aren't alcoholics, it's replacing that something for them. There's no drink. This is why I say this. There's no mocktail in the world that's going to keep me sober. No mocktail in the world is going to replace the feeling that alcohol gives me. That's why I say that. Suboxone's a completely different thing. Maintenance drugs are completely different things, okay? So I'm just using it as a comparison of when they were introduced to 12-step programs, the way that they were discussed, right? I think that one of the things that we would talk about, right, is like, when, like, the 12 steps were written, you know, and the basic text was written and things like that, there was no conceptualization that Suboxone would come out in the future. I mean, we talk about that a lot. You know, if the people that, you know, started 12-step programs, like, if they knew, like, there's been whole discussions and group service meetings and things about pronouns within the text and changing pronouns and changing this, and there's been whole discussions about, you know, like, certain chapters that we should take out of the book that are directed towards women that are just wives, and the wording of it, and it's very biblical, all this kind of stuff. And a lot of 12-step programs, this is being discussed right now, that at the time that it was all started, they couldn't even conceptualize changes in the world of what that would look like. So they couldn't imagine Suboxone ever coming out and being a maintenance drug, let alone an abuse or anything else, which, you know, is from back in the day. So how could we say that they wouldn't agree with people being on Suboxone to say, no, that doesn't fit in this program, right? I think that's how a lot of people got over it. Well, I mean, I don't know that at that time people really could conceptualize that you could go into a grocery store and you could literally buy mocktails the way, I mean, this is what's so weird to me, is that when I stopped drinking, the liquor aisle was literally like a fourth of an aisle, and it was wine coolers, some wine, and some beer, and that was it. Now it's 2 aisles, you know, at Walmart or the grocery store, and one of the aisles is all mocktails of all this kind of stuff. And who would ever guess that back in the day? I wouldn't have, you know? I don't know. It's an interesting conversation. But anyway, going back to Go Ask Alice, she says in there they just have this bugged out, wild, like, look in their eyes that while he's sitting there telling stories, like, they cannot just wait to get out and get their fix. Well, I think that's true sometimes in early sobriety, you know? I think that, I don't know, I didn't experience that at meetings where I heard people just, like, talking about, oh, and then this, and then this, and then this, whatever. I mean, maybe if I was standing outside smoking a cigarette, like I said, somebody would be like, talking about getting pills or whatever. But those were people that were like court ordered. I have known a lot of people that were court ordered that were serious about it. But I'm talking about those were people that just, they didn't want to be there, for whatever reason. I don't know. But I have known a lot of people that were court ordered to treatment or to meetings and then stayed sober and wanted to be there. So, it's 6 of one, half dozen the other. But I don't know. But the book was good. So anyway, I finished Go Ask Alice last night. It was better than I remembered it being, honestly. But it was cheesy. The story is good. The writing is bad. Very like Twilight and the Stephanie Meyer's books. That one's, okay. How do I compare the two? The E.L. James books, the 50 Shades of Grey books. The story is good. The writing is cheesy. Oh God, the writing is similar to it, the way she talks in that book. You mean your game room? The Twilight books, I feel like it's different. The writing is bad, but the stories are, however it is. But anyway, the story of Go Ask Alice is good. Okay, so anyway, after I got done with that, then I was like, I don't know what I started in series, but I just got back into UK Traders, and I'm watching season 1 of it. And I watched like 4 episodes last night. So I have, no. After I finished that, I read Jack and Jill. I read for an hour and a half, I read Jack and Jill. I was like, that is not all I did last night, because I didn't get up from my nap that late. I was like, what else did I do? So I read Jack and Jill for like an hour and a half. This is my favorite Alex Cross book so far. This is my hands down favorite Alex Cross book so far by James Patterson. So after I got done with that is then when I watched Traders, and I think I watched 3 or 4. I went to bed late last night, and I fell asleep pretty quickly. Got up today, took a shower. Alex stayed in bed. He took a shower right after me, and then his mom came and picked us up, and that's been our day. And so I was like, today, you know what? I was like, I think I'm going to take it easy today and probably through the weekend, and then on Monday start fresh as February. February is fresh as February. And get started new. I don't know, tomorrow I might wake up and make 6 videos. Tomorrow I might wake up and just make my vlog. But I'm just going to kind of be a little relaxed this weekend. And, as far as anxiety stuff, woke up today, I would say, I don't even know that I necessarily felt shaky. I felt a little off, and it lasted for about 10 minutes, and then it was over. Last night, same thing. I don't know. I don't know why one day to the next is different, but thank you guys so much. So many of you guys reached out to me and shared, put comments. It's really meaningful to me. And shared stories like, Peter, I've been diagnosed with generalized anxiety disorder at such and such age. And you guys are just so open and so vulnerable with me, and I really, really appreciate it. It helps a lot. I don't know, it just helps to hear somebody else. And to ask for it and then get it in such kind ways means a lot. I really appreciate it. So yeah, so today was a good day. I didn't even necessarily feel shaky. I just felt kind of a little off when I woke up. I don't even know how to explain it. But anyway, got up, got in the shower, all that kind of stuff. And so yeah, and then tonight, he'll probably sleep. He'll probably be out. My husband, he acts like nothing bothers him. We got there, I was like, the whole night last night today, I was like, are you nervous? Are you nervous? Because I would be. He was like, no, not at all. He's like, it's whatever. And then today he was like, oh, it was whatever. And then he got home, he's like, goes right upstairs and turns on the fan and goes to sleep. So he'll probably sleep through the whole night. Which, I'll be honest with you, I'm kind of like, yay, I get to watch my TV. P-O-O-L. I get to watch my shows and read my book. I get to finish Jack and Jill tonight. So, last day of January. It feels kind of surreal. I keep on seeing these memes, up on the Instagram that talk about this is like the 872nd day of January or whatever, or the 863rd, let's come out, 872nd day of January. But it does kind of feel like that, doesn't it? I mean, it really does feel like January has been so long. I mean, I understand that people are, they're saying other stuff, but I get what they're saying. But it does feel like January has been so long. I'm ready to start February. I'm ready for spring to come. I was talking to Nikki and Tani both about that the other night. It's like, all of us, because we love the snow and winter and stuff like that. Maybe one more snow that lasts a day, and then I'm ready for, what do you call it? Spring weather, nice weather, stuff like that. Today, I mean, look, it's supposed to be 50 today. I was all excited about it. You can see my breath. What's going on? What's going on, Lucille? I don't understand. So tonight, I'm going to go inside, I'm going to start uploading this, rendering this, and then uploading this. And then I'll probably post this early tonight. What time is it right now? 6:12. And then I'm going to put my pajamas on. I'm going to finish Traders. I might take a nap and then get up and finish Traders. I might take an early nap. Well, you know what I'll do? I'll watch while this is uploading, I'll watch, because I uploaded on my phone and then it uploads that quick. I'll watch Traders UK, one more episode, so I have one to wake up to. And then I will, once the vlog is uploaded, I'll probably post it early tonight. And then, oh my God, I got more HOA drama. Oh my God, I forgot about that. I got more HOA drama that I found out. But I'll have to save that for tomorrow, because the lighting's getting so bad out here. Here, we'll as we bid you good night. Tomorrow, I will bring out more of the HOA drama. Can't believe it. I have more HOA drama. I should have asked her about that. Anyway, okay. Gonna get off here now. So I'm gonna go inside, put my pajamas on, watch an episode of Traders while this is uploading. I'm gonna post this early. And then, yeah, I don't know. And then tonight just watch shows and stuff. And I'll probably get up tomorrow and we will, well, I will get up tomorrow at some point. We're having dinner early, not too early tomorrow. So Alex was like, you know, he was like, will this time work in case you want to film videos? And I was like, yeah. And then today I was like, well, I don't know. We'll see what I film. So I'll probably film something tomorrow. I'll probably film, there's a couple of videos there's like 10 videos I want to make for my Peter Watches TV videos channel. So I'll probably do that. I'd like to post like my Peterisms and my BookTube channel and my review channel. Oh my God, my review channel. I was just like, was really lacking in January. So I would like to maybe post on those over the weekend and get like a fresh start on that. You know, we'll see. We'll see. We're just taking it day by day. We're taking it one day at a time, you know. You take the good, you take the bad, you take... I was thinking of that show. What's the show called? Is it called One Day at a Time? It took place in Indianapolis. Is that what the show is called? But then I started singing the Facts of Life song. You take the good, you take the bad, you take it all, and then you have the facts of life. Facts of life. Oh, Mrs. Garrett. I loved her. Anyway, I hope that you guys are having a magically amazing Friday. If nobody else has told you this today, I love you guys. And I think Emily was the one that said that she missed the one more I love you. So for Emily and everybody else out there, one more I love you. I love you guys. I haven't done a long intro in a while. I probably need to do that, don't I? Anyway, not tonight. Not tonight, Lucille. Maybe tomorrow night, Susan. Anyway, I just like to throw out random names if you haven't figured that out by now. I have to tell you this. So, well, I'll save that for tomorrow with the HOA drama and all that stuff, which I'll probably forget talking about. Anyway, I hope that you guys are having a magically amazing, did I say Saturday? Friday. If nobody else has told you this today, I love you guys. Two more I love yous. I love you guys. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Love ya. Love you.